I can't help it. Flying in a float plane is so cool. Every time I get into a bush plane, I get excited because it means a new fishing adventure. Flying over Ontario's beautiful North Country with its thousands of lakes and dense forests leaves me in awe. It's September and the leaves are just beginning to change color, naturally epic and majestic. The anticipation of fishing remote lakes and catching large brook trout in their spawning colors has made for many sleepless nights these past few weeks. But now I'm finally here. Welcome to Blue Fox Camp in Northern Ontario.
That is amazing.
There's a take. Oh, nice.
The power. All right.
The new fly fisher is made possible in partnership with Algoma Country, Destination Ontario, Orvis Fly Fishing, Trout Unlimited, Rio Products, Oscar Blues Brewery, Global Rescue, Outpost Boatworks, WeatherTech Canada.
For several years, the owners of Blue Fox Camp have been asking me to come fishing in late September. It's the perfect time of year for Northern Ontario. Bright, sunny, and warm days, no biting insects, cool nights for sleeping, and a chance to catch a trophy brook trout. Finally, the week has come for my visit. Blue Fox Camp is located on the Blue Lake System in the Algoma Highlands. The lake system consists of 6 feeder lakes which discharge into Blue Lake, all of which contain naturally reproducing lake trout, rainbow trout, and brook trout. In addition, approximately 50 back lakes accessible from camp are part of a regular world-class brook trout stocking program where 5 to 7 pound brookies are not uncommon. The best times to target big brook trout is May, June, and September. We've chosen to come here on this trip in September to target fish in their fall spawning colors. After unpacking and getting set up in our cabin, we decided to head out on the main lake and try our luck at catching some of the rainbow trout and other species the main lake is known for. I'm joined by Brad Thorne in my boat. The weather has closed in and it feels like a storm is coming soon. Ideal conditions for trout fishing. So this morning, Brad, we woke up, it was raining after yesterday's beautiful day, but you said the weather's supposed to clear by lunch, and we're gonna go into one of the smaller lakes for the brook trout, but you think the best thing is to do a little trout fishing here in the main lake while we wait for it to clear up? Might rain again?
Yeah.
Sound good?
Sounds good to me. I think that's a good plan.
The main lake is popular with all anglers who like catching big rainbow trout. They often reach 10 pounds or larger. The main lake also holds good populations of brook and lake trout, which can all be caught on a fly. Casting to shoals and wind-blown rocky shorelines always seems to produce one of the 3 species. I'm using this 10-foot 6-weight rod, put the line out, and I'm just drifting along, and we're stripping in little short strips, and he took. That is the lake trout, isn't it?
Oh, nice one.
There we go. Not bad. Now, lake trout are out of season here. We're not trying to catch them, but they're right in with the brook trout and the rainbows on the main lake. So let me just get the line here. All right, put that there. I'm just gonna very carefully, quickly show them the camera. And there he goes. On a rainy, crappy day. How fantastic is this?
So on the back lakes, we have canoes stored in a number of lakes throughout the area that anglers can get to, walk up, and be fishing within 15 minutes. On the main lake, we have aluminum boats with brand new 4-stroke motors that have been a real hit with everyone.
We went in for lunch, and by the time we were done, the skies had cleared and it was a beautiful sunny day. That's the way the weather can be in late September. We loaded up the boats with our gear and headed down the lake to our first portage lake to hunt for big brook trout. It's so nice to enjoy the fresh air and sun in such a stunning natural environment. This is why I came at this time of the year.
So we're here at a nice little small lake off of Blue. It's good in the spring and the fall, and we're hoping to catch some nice 3 to 4 pounders with a chance of a 6 or 7 if we get lucky today. We've got an inlet and an outlet stream, and they grow big here for sure in this chain of lakes.
Okay, can you just push me a little bit forward? I'm going to cast into that bay. We were just repositioning, and I put out a white smelt pattern. That's because I just cast towards shore, and we were just going up the lake here because the current is, and the wind's blowing us down this way. Look at this.
Oh, nice fight.
Yeah. Now I am on the reel here, having a chance, because he came right to the boat. I don't know how big this fish is. But anyways, the smelt pattern I'm using is one we use a lot in this TV show, which is Scotty's McFly, which for whatever reason in this region, Northern Ontario, works really well. And I think it's just because there's so many smelt and so many lakes. So, first fish, first day, and it's a beautiful colored brook trout.
Yeah.
Look at the colors on that. Nice, looks like a male. You got him? There you
Got
go.
him. Oh, beauty fish. Look at that.
How about that? Okay, and we're just starting to figure it out. Thank you, sir.
Hey, anytime. Glad to be of service.
We had a wonderful first day of catching trout on both the main lake and our first portage lake. But even better was the very real enjoyment of the serenity and peace this area provides. I'm excited to see what tomorrow will bring.
Ready to move forward financially? Then you won't want to miss Money Matters with Doug Jones here on Rogers TV. It's a personal finance show focused on getting you expert advice in all matters related to.
What kind of show do you want to see on Rogers TV? What interests you? Log on to rogerstv.com, fill out a show proposal, and tell us about your segment idea. We want to know what you want to see. Rogers TV, only on Rogers.
Do you have something to share? Let everyone know about your next meeting, your need for volunteers, or your fundraising event on the Rogers TV Community Billboard. Send us your words and we'll bring them to life on Rogers TV and rogerstv.com. When it's time to spread the word, go to rogerstv.com to add your announcement to the community billboard.
Blue Fox Camp is a remote, full-service facility for up to 25 guests. There are 6 very comfortable cabins, a main cookhouse, along with shower facilities. Delicious home-cooked meals are served 3 times a day that will satisfy the largest appetite. Accessed only by floatplane and surrounded by remote wilderness, the crystal-clear spring-fed lakes are a trout fishing paradise. Several years before, host Mark Melnick had visited Blue Fox for some May-June fishing for the big brook trout. Water temperatures had finally risen, and the large fish were beginning to get active and cruise about. Streamers were still the go-to fly, as the hatches had not yet started.
Looks like there's lots of structure and things all the way around. You got logs sticking out. There's a beaver house down there.
Beaver house, logs, rocks. So I guess, Fred, this is a pretty good go-to spot with the prevailing wind the way it is, right? Because it just pushes everything up against this shelf.
Yeah, the specks will come in here. They'll probably sit there and wait for the food to come to them.
Yeah. Now, you're not going to believe this. There's a kid at Blue Fox Camp a couple days ago that caught a fish off the dock, and he mortally wounded it. So when they cleaned it for dinner, they opened it up, and you know what? It had crayfish in its belly. I didn't bring any crayfish with me, but I happen to have my saltwater box, totally by accident. So I actually tied on a spawning mantis shrimp from the Bahamas. And look at this. You can believe it? Speckled trout. And Fred, that goes back to, what we were talking about, how you guys look to stock these fish in barren lakes, right? And how would a speckled trout, know what a freshwater shrimp is if there's nothing in these lakes at all? Very cool that it's their predatory instinct that they see something flashing with legs, maybe some eyeballs, and boom, they hit it.
Absolutely. There's all kinds of things in these lakes for them to feed on, and you never know what it's going to be.
A bug's a bug as a bug, right?
Nice.
Whew, that's hard work. These fish are great. Who would have thought? Spawning mantis shrimp would do well here in Algoma fishing for speckled trout. All right, let's get this guy back. Thick, beautiful Algoma brook trout. Look at that. There you go. Perfect, perfect. It shows that when you're in a new lake and you're trying something brand new, and things are tough, to switch it up a little bit. I can't believe that we actually caught a speckled trout on a Bahamian spawning mantis shrimp. It's absolutely great. Shows how voracious these fish are. And you know what? You put your time in and you're going to have success for sure.
Nice job.
Whoa, under the boat. Whoa. Man, they are so strong and so powerful. It's because they're big.
Yeah, you can't horse them.
No, you
gotta play
can't.
them out.
Even with 10-pound tippet on, you really got to respect these fish. I can't believe how thick they are across the back. They're not long fish, but they're football-y.
There's tons of food down there for them. They gorge themselves all day long. That's pretty much all they do. That's why they get so big up here.
We had some luck early this morning with the minnow pattern, and I decided I hadn't had anything in a while, and I switched to the ugliest bug I have in my box. And sure enough, 2 spots, 2 fish, we're pulling them off. It's amazing that they just, anything that's different, right? They'll attack it voraciously. Now, these trout do have micro teeth, and they're quite sharp, and this guy's taken this fly quite deep, so I am definitely going to retie after I let this guy go. Biggest fish of the day so far. This is awesome. Keep him in the water. It's working out, Fred. Things are looking good, huh?
Absolutely.
Fly pops out.
My Uncle Cheney was one of over 150,000 Indigenous children that were taken to residential schools between the 1800s and 1996. My uncle ran away from school wanting to get home to his mom and dad, and sadly he didn't make it and died of exposure. When Gord Downey found out about my late Uncle Cheney's story, he wrote Secret Path, a series of poems that became an album, then a graphic novel, a documentary, and a concert. Gord met my family, and together we formed the Gord, Downey, and Cheney Winjack Fund. Together we are sharing Secret Path and other reconciliation resources with legacy schools, setting up legacy spaces across Canada, and hosting events like Secret Path Week to inspire all Canadians to engage in reconciliation. Before he left us, Gord asked us all to do something.
You're gonna figure it out.
Will you join us? Together we can make Canada a better place.
Are you a woman experiencing abuse? Do you know a woman experiencing abuse? Help is available any time of day or night. Sheltersafe.ca is an online map that helps you find a women's shelter or transition house that meets your needs so you can live a life free from violence. Sheltersafe.ca. Help is just a click away.
The equipment we used on this trip are 9-foot 6-weight rods with matching reels. It's recommended a quality reel with a dependable drag system, as the fish at Blue Fox can often be immense. The lines we used were primarily sinking lines due to the fact the trout were deep in the water column. We used clear intermediate sinking lines for the shallower water and full sinking lines for the deep areas. Streamers were the best option at this time of the year. There's a healthy population of smelt and large minnows in the lakes, and we found Scotty's McFly was very effective. Of course, leech patterns in black, olive, and purple are also deadly for catching trout.
The goal of this management program is to try and sustain a trophy brook trout fishery. There's a lot of very unique lakes here that will grow really big fish very quickly, and having it accessible to a large group of people locally and through the tourist lodge is a big part of the ministry's drive to build this fishery and sustain it. The fish in these lakes that are planted, they generally live to a maximum of 5 years. So they're stocked at about a year old, and they will live in the lake for 4 years. And we see phenomenal growth in that period. A fish that's been in the lake would be in a range of 1.5 to 2 pounds. 3-year-old fish would be 3 pounds. A 4-year-old fish would be 5 pounds range, and a 5-year-old, if you can catch one of those monsters, could be in the 8-pound range very, very regularly.
This day, we had been plagued with numerous cold fronts moving through the area. Most fish don't like sudden barometer changes. It generally drives them deep. This was the case today, which was apparent on the sonar. You can see fish activity near the bottom. I'll have to try and get my fly to sink as much as possible. I allowed my line to sink for over a minute before I began to twitch the rod. I felt this tremendous hit and the fight was on. When fighting a fish in a canoe, you don't have the luxury of putting more force on the rod due to your sitting position. You have to be patient and allow the fish to tire on its own. Just keep a tight line. The rain just started to get heavier, so we packed it in for the day. The weather forecast for the next 2 days was clear skies. Hopefully, the fish will be biting soon.
My Uncle Cheney was one of over 150,000 Indigenous children that were taken to residential schools between the 1800s and 1996. My uncle ran away from school wanting to get home to his mom and dad, and sadly he didn't make it and died of exposure. When Gord Downey found out about my late Uncle Cheney's story, he wrote Secret Path, a series of poems that became an album, then a graphic novel, a documentary, and a concert. Gord met my family, and together we formed the Gord Downey and Cheney Winjack Fund. Together we are sharing Secret Path and other reconciliation resources with legacy schools, setting up legacy spaces across Canada, and hosting events like Secret Path Week to inspire all Canadians to engage in reconciliation. Before he left us, Gord asked us all to do something.
You're gonna figure it out.
Will you join us? Together we can make Canada a better place.
When you're online, Rogers TV on YouTube shares news and events from your community, like messages from local leaders, updates on the latest health news, local business presenting their new offerings, and how our local communities are working their way through these unprecedented times. Visit and subscribe to Rogers TV on YouTube for the latest local information.
On our final day, owner Pete Roberts took us by ATVs into one of the lakes not far from the camp. It was a beautiful trip in and a short hike to where we put in canoes to begin the day's adventure.
It's a new day. It's going to be a much better day. We've had nothing but fronts coming through here. But yesterday, we had stable weather, no fish, but today, stable weather, and I think this is going to be the magic day. It's 0 to hero time. Fish. I cast in, and as soon as the fly started going down, Pete, the fish took, look, he's got this big clump of weeds. He went right into the bottom. But you can see him right behind it. See him? I'll get his head up. Nice. This is like the 5th cast of the morning. There's the fly, popped right out with a little bit of weed. This beautiful fish is ready to go. Look at that. Oh, there you go, there you go. Wow, that was outstanding. 5th cast maybe of the morning. It's gonna be a great day. Oh, missed him. That hit. It'll take me out a bit and we'll try again. That was definitely a fish to grab there. Well, that was kind of unusual. So we basically just finished landing the fish. I threw my fly over the side. Pete was, oh, look at that right side. Pete was getting ready to start to maneuver us again, and the fly went down maybe 3 feet, and this this big brookie hit it. They're hungry. A little bit of line here. How insane is this?
Boom!
2 days of stable weather, and it changes it all.
Well, you called it. You said last night was going to be iffy. We had an outside chance, but today was going to be good. So it looks like your prediction was right.
Here, I'll let you take out the hook. Okay, hook's out.
Did you ever find that they do run in pairs?
Sometimes. A lot of times I find they run in they're like smallmouth. They do 3 or 4 of them together. And I think it's partially because then they can, if they find minnows, they can ambush them, like push them together.
Oh, that's a decent one.
So that's the second time we've had these brook trout go right into the weeds after the initial hit. Well, there he is right behind you.
He's behind it.
Okay, so bring it past me, and then, oh, yeah.
The weeds are up on the leader knot.
Oh, I got him.
Oh, baby. Oh, mama.
Up he goes. Well done. And just what, 10 feet behind the boat because you had reeled it in to let me cast the shallows?
Yeah. Yeah, we could see bottom. That was just cruising the flats.
Well, listen, Peter, thank you.
Thank you, Colin.
I've had a great week. I don't mind saying I'm a little disappointed, and it's only because I know how big the brook trout are here. We've had lots of people come here, and Everyone, I think, at Blue Fox has caught some of these 6 to 8 pounders, but the weather was not in my favor, was it?
You fought the weather for a solid 4 days, but your prediction came true. We had some good skies today. We had some clear skies, and the fish were active in at least one of the lakes, so.
Yeah, and unfortunately, we've got another front coming in again right now. But if I could say, you know, I've never been here in the spring, and a lot of people think brook trout in May and June, which is true, but September is actually a really good month because you don't have the bugs, you got nice cold nights for, you know, sleeping, and I really love the colors here in the fall. I mean, this lake is, and the whole region is gorgeous, so it's a reason to come back and for me to try again to end my season by catching a giant brook trout. So I guess I'll have to settle for some little 3 to 4 pounders. I mean, tough life, eh? Thanks again, Peter. And if you want more information about the Blue Fox or our show, go to our website, thenewflyfisher.com. Thanks for watching. We'll see you soon.
The New Fly Fisher is made possible in partnership with Algoma Country, Destination Ontario, Orvis Fly Fishing, Trout Unlimited, Rio Products, Oscar Blues Brewery, Global Rescue, Outpost Boatworks, WeatherTech Canada.